Would you take a 50-50 chance at $5 million or death? Why or why not? Is the death painless? If so, yes. Yep, you just drop dead. Then definitely, I wouldn't have even known I died. Sure, either way all of your problems are solved. Flips coin, hey look I won. I'd take it. For the past several years I have been struggling with the fact that I am stuck taking care of a disabled parent, and that I can't really move on while she is part of my life. It is cheaper for everyone for me to stay home and help her, which is why I do that, but it makes me feel confined in a lot of ways. I can't leave the house for extended periods, which made finding a job difficult until I was lucky enough to get a remote job. However, taking care of her even gets in the way of that with constant interruptions and distractions. It's just so much trouble to deal with, and it's culminated in me having this strong desire recently to just leave unannounced, drop contact, and move on with my life alone. I am not actually doing this, because I know it would be devastating for her in a lot of ways, but the desire is there. With my current feelings the way they are, I would absolutely take a chance at $5 million, which could help get her the care she needs while I could also move on. Worst case, I wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. Either way is an out for me. Pro tip: take out a $10 million life insurance policy to set your family up before taking this bet. Edit. I put zero thought into this answer. Would intentionally putting yourself in danger invalid that policy? It depends on the policy. My life insurance policy has a suicide exclusion for the first 2 years of the policy, which is the ultimate of putting yourself in danger. So if I die after 2 years of having the policy, basically the only way they'll get out of paying is if we don't pay our premiums. I wanted to say you overestimate Reddit's will to live, but looks like I underestimated it. I am unsure if he should be proud or disappointed at it. Spelling. Creds to ULT Wharf. You've got to remember, most of us on Reddit right now are probably adults at work. We have a different view of life than the edgy teens who will answer this when they get out of class. Edit. Yes, I'm well aware that it's possible you're on Reddit in class or that you hate your job. I'm definitely aware that Reddit isn't only an American website, and that there are more than a few time zones. Edit 2. Yes, depression is a serious issue. No, this comment isn't an accurate blanket statement. If you've actually got something you want to talk about, feel free to PM me. If you're just being pedantic and complaining that I've offended you, go play outside. I wouldn't remotely consider it, not even for an instant. My life isn't great. Poor social life, average at best standard of living where I live pretty frugally but have modern conveniences. It definitely seems like the majority of people have better lives than me, though maybe their low points get lower than mine. And I would never ever take a risk like that. A boring, frugal life is still pretty valuable. My life might never be meaningful or exciting, but I have the basic necessities and get to enjoy new TV and movies and sports events, etc. I don't understand why anyone would risk decades of their life, even a mediocre life, just to have a nicer house and not have to go to work, unless their life circumstances are pretty unusual. If you're 80 years old, or severely depressed, or in a terrible health and in desperate need of money to get medical help, then I get it. You have a low value of the rest of your life, so it feels like the risk would be worth it. But why would anyone do it outside of a circumstance like those? I have to think the vast majority of people in here are just joking about death being a positive outcome for them. I hear that. Even waiting at 95% for the $5 million and 5% death. TM not taking the chance. It'll take some risks on things that may cause a setback, but death is hard to bounce back from. There was this one guy who came back after 3 days, but I'm pretty sure I don't qualify. I love how you can see the difference of people who answer here. No, I'm worth more than 5 mil, or I love my family too much to risk it. Then you got your people like fuck yeah, death, fuck yay. For me it's kind of a different scenario. I am practically dying and treated diabetic for nearly a decade. If I had 5 mil I could afford to take care of myself just with the interest on that. As is, I'm just waiting to die anyways. Well, best of luck to your mate. Wish you the best. Man, I would take that chance twice. 3 out of the 4 outcomes in that situation involve death. Probability confuses me, but doesn't that mean there's a 75% of you dying? there would also be a 75% chance of you getting, at least, 5 million, and a 25% chance of getting 10 million the only time you don't die. Or am I just being dumb? I completely forgot every lesson I had on probability, so if I'm wrong please correct me, because it's either money or death. There's only 3 outcomes if you play twice, because if you die the first time, you don't play the second round. Question: how fast would I die if I lost? Would it be instant or would I have to contemplate my mortality before it happened? It'd say instant death. Yes. Can we do it multiple times? Yep, either way I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I would totally go into work and act like nothing had happened. Then I'd ask everyone I work with for financial help, tailoring the amount to what I think they could comfortably afford. Everyone who offers to help out gets a nice payday from me at 5 PM. Anyone I know couldn't afford it gets a free pass and did help them out. No, 5 mil is a lot of money, but actually not that much money. The value of living a full life with an average amount of money is worth way more than 5 mil for me. How much would it have to be for you to take the bet? Or, what would the odds have to be on the 5 mil? 5 mil is a lot of money, and the only difference between 5 mil and 100 mil is not being able to do uber rich things like buy a large business or a private jets and crazy yachts. I genuinely don't think any amount of money would convince me to take the bet. I live relatively comfortably at the moment and I wouldn't risk my current life for it. Imagine that I do not accept and the next day I get hit by a car. I am invalid and my bill is $5 million. Laughs in European. Edit. Oh shoot. Thanks a lot for my first silver. I thank you in European. Sad American noises. I would like to win death. Or $5 I guess. TBH, if I win that much money I would no longer wish for death. I see this as an absolute win. Money does make people happy. The majority of my problems and others stems from being in poverty. If those problems didn't exist, I'd be so much happier and not wish terrible things upon myself. If you asked this to me a few days ago I would say now the money ain't worth a chance to die. Today sure I will risk it. If I get the money I can leave and start a new life. If I get death then I won't need to start a new life. Also serious question, if I win the money do I have to pay taxes on it? Sounds like a rough breakup buddy, hang in there. My girlfriend turned into the moon. Currently no. But if I end up homeless and starving for a certain amount of time with no family I probably would. Edit. This just gave me an idea for a book character. What if someone was in a deadly contest but they have a potential terminal medical issue and if they don't get the money they'll die anyway? It's probably been done before. But it's kind of like something they might not say at first until they either have a symptom they can't hide or they grow closer to the protagonist or they need to confess it in a part of a game. It's called Breaking Bad. Ask me again when my seasonal depression kicks in. If it hasn't kicked in by mid-late February TD say you're doing good at it. Yes, I forgot that the southern gentleman, the fuck autocorrect, hemisphere exists. Also turns out you can get it at any point in the year. Mine usually ends in February. No, money can't buy life. I mean it can. It shouldn't but it can. 60,000 Americans die each year from lack of medical treatment due to lack of money and underinsurance. So yes, in those causes money would literally buy life. No, a few months ago my partner and I found out we were having a baby. I was thrilled, terrified but euphoric. Then at week 16 her water broke and we went to the ER. Doctors said there's a 99% chance she would go into labor before the fetus would reach viability at week 24. We were devastated. We had just announced to close family and friends we were expecting and then this happened. Now we had to break more news. We planned on not finding out the sex until we delivered, but given the grim circumstances we wanted to know. A little girl. I was going to be a father to a little baby girl. We named her Winifred, Winnie, or Win, or Fred if she so chose. My partner was bedridden and couldn't do anything physical at the risk of miscarrying. She continued to leak amniotic fluid at an alarming rate and chugged water in hopes her body would refill what was being consistently lost. Every week we went to a specialist to get ultrasounds and checkups. We are luckily poor enough to qualify for Medicare, which covered everything, and week after week the doctors were blown away by what we were told was a 0.04% chance of happening. Her fluids were coming back. She She kept leaking for weeks and weeks, but everything was improving. We're now at 25 weeks with little Winnie defying all the odds. My partner has stopped leaking altogether and we're told this is very possibly on track for a full-term pregnancy. Everything is fine. We're thrilled, grateful, blown away. I have a miracle waiting for me at home who kicks like crazy at the sound of my voice. I don't need the money. I have a family that needs me.